right, hello. Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We are playing Ultraviolet Grasslands tonight, continuing our trek westward with our prophets of the True Mother. They're in a little bit of a pickle. Jeremy doesn't know this yet, but yeah, there's a little bit of a pickle with where we kind of left off last time. But we'll dive into the summary pretty quickly. Why don't we go ahead and just do some quick intros? So tell us who you are, plug your pluggables if you got them.
You can't do that, Jeff.
What?
You can't do that.
What? Okay. What?
Because last episode, Jeremy was kicked out of the group because he did something really bad. You got to explain why Jeremy's back.
He paid me lots and lots of money. So yeah. Also, Chuck's in black and white. He can explain that if he wants.
Not going to.
It's a weird night.
Just in black and white today. It's fine.
It is true. We did let Jeremy back in. He cut me a check. The way to my heart is through my bank account. So that's definitely the way to go. But yeah, let's dive in. Intro. Who are you? Where are you? What are you? That kind of stuff. So Joe, who are you?
Hi, I'm Joe with the Defenders of Kobold, and I am playing Ensen, the Musclemancer, who casts all of his spells from his Walkman by flexing various muscles on his body to do various things.
It's true. How many spells you up to? How many you got?
I have 3 now.
Okay.
So we've got pectoral protection, hamstring haste, and abdominal abjuration.
Okay.
So.
Great names.
Just looking at them. I'm looking at. Oh, do you have future spell ideas too? I'm sorry, I'm creeping on your character sheet right now.
Oh yeah.
Bicep bifurcation.
Yeah, that's gonna be the next one.
Yeah, this is fantastic. This is the greatest thing. All right. Ensign, I believe, was digging, like he was like kind of trying to create a little cordon off on our he's outside the lake where we're gonna have a few people die tonight. So yeah.
Wait, what was that?
I don't know. Melissa, you're next. Who are you? And do you know what your next character is gonna be?
So I have I'm playing Satrap 956 Lamb. So got a fun little helmeted, coated character, orange with a little many-fingered monkey lizard, who I haven't really done much with. I think Phil's just been taking a nap for the last couple of episodes.
Yeah. Well, he's dead. I probably should tell you that.
What?
Yeah. You're gonna look in your suit, and he's just a slowly decomposing lizard inside your suit.
Oh, that's no good.
It got squished somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
The granola bar at the bottom of your backpack. That's very bad.
You forgot to roll your window down while you were parked outside the lake.
It's like the end of Ferris Bueller's Day Off when he's on the bus and he's just like, "You want a gummy bear?" They've been in my pocket all day. They're nice and warm, just like Phil, your lizard.
Oh, but I did hit level 3 recently, so I need to think of a new ability to unlock.
Yeah.
I now have a empty slot on my character sheet. Burning a hole.
Yeah, a couple
people. Do you get the skills and abilities automatically when you hit those levels, or?
No, you got to do. We kind of I kind of like hacked the way that it normally works.
I can train something up in next time.
Right.
Opportunity. So there's nothing in it right now. I just
right. So the way it works, like by the rules, is that you have to get a series of trainers and you kind of checkbox, but that's just going to take too long for like the speed with which we're going. So I just made it like a one-shot roll. Like you just roll it once. You find a trainer. Use one of your destination actions to do the training. Right.
Okay.
Roll a test and you're good to go. I can show once you're ready to do it. I can show you the specific rules later. But it's just our way to speed it up a little bit for us.
Yeah, because I've got a skill and 2 abilities to fill then.
Okay. Right on. Bert, you're next. Who are you?
Hey, I'm playing Khalil Abu, your friendly neighborhood coffee pusher, legume farmer, and surgeon. I'm not quite at 3rd level yet, but I did level, and I picked up the fabulous recipe for chamomile coffee, the coffee that brings you way down.
Yeah, it's the ironic coffee or the inverse coffee. And you're I think you have you been like dumping points? You started dumping points into your pet now, right?
Yeah, my pet's second level.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think your pet should be able to get a ability as well then.
Oh, really? Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can think about some kind of ability. And thanks for the Prime sub. Very nice. But yeah, come up and since you did a Prime sub, yeah, you can go ahead and just bypass that training completely. That stuff that I was telling Joe, you're good. See, money. That's how you get to me.
That's how
Bottom row, fresh out of WandaVision, we got Chuck. Chuck, who are you?
Hey, I'm Chuck. I'm sick as shit. Thank you, Auntie Rona. I appreciate it greatly. I'm playing Tango Carne, who, fun fact, is unable to get sick, which I'm a little jealous of right now, except for, the whole being dead thing. I don't know. I'm a ghost. Moo.
In a way, he is the sickness.
I am the sickness. Ooh, is that?
I know, yeah,
the
I know. I
right
was about to do it
song?
too. I was like,
Yeah.
It was all in our heads. Thanks for doing it
Yeah.
out loud.
yeah. I don't feel good about it though.
Yeah, I know. And I'm gonna turn Battle Ass into a pet. Start dumping XP into Battle Ass.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day in a different stream. That's a good idea. I think
Yeah.
Battle Ass can. This would ensure his longevity. I think a lot
Yeah.
better than just him being kind of a random thing. So yeah, that sounds good. But now you have to feed him and walk him and take care of him though. So
Yeah, that's gonna be rough. I'm not used to bodily functions anymore. So
yeah, it's true. But the good thing is, you could just you could just get inside him. That was a weird way of phrasing that. And then you could do the walking yourself from the inside.
there we go. Yeah.
Still
Piloting my ass Mac.
Still not happy with the phrasing that's happening here. Speaking of poor phrasing, Jeremy, you're up next.
That's fair.
I got nothing.
Yeah. I'm going to be playing Mercutio Salvador Giovanni. I'm a cat lord and a bit of a big game hunter. Mostly just, a very upstanding cultist that helps people be the best versions of themselves they could be.
Yeah, we forgot to tell you, they left you behind, actually. You guys made it to this graveyard, this big old waystone graveyard, and they just left you. So we don't know where you are. Yeah. So,
That's okay.
But thanks for showing up. It's great.
Yeah, sure. I'll get some ice cream.
And finally, we got Dan. Dan, who are you?
Everybody, Dan with the Defenders. I'm playing Satrap 14 Teapot, sort of our deck machinist sort of guy, fixing the things and making sure they all run, shooting people with lasers. And I believe what the thing is for Tango Carne, it's probably Assception is what we're looking for.
Assception, that's good. Write that down. Somebody.
Okay. If my Battle Ass ever goes down, someone's gonna have to bring it back to life with ass-to-ass resuscitation. Is that a thing?
I think you're right.
Okay.
You fart right back into it to reinflate it.
Yeah.
Musclemancer is a hell of a thing.
That's not one of my
Okay.
spells.
Oh my god.
But
It is now.
Could
It could, yeah, exactly. It definitely could be.
There's
you have
2 open
anything-
ability slots.
You
Gotta put
did
something
say
in
you've
there.
got room. I mean,
Do you have anything with your glutinous maximus?
Not at the
Work on
moment.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a future problem, I suppose.
Ass-
Does the
Assimus
colon count as a
blastimus.
muscle?
Clapomancy.
Jesus. Oh god. Oh geez. I'm so embarrassed. I'm now
you're out of
foggy.
focus.
You
I'm
don't
out of
even want us to
focus.
see you.
I don't like. Yeah. There's my head. All right, there we go.
Here.
All right, I'm back.
Far.
So, you ever see that one where it's like, show me near, and he runs away, and he's like, and he like, and then like when he has like the near and far in Grover. Never mind. We're talking about Sesame Street. It's one of my favorite ones where he's just running back and forth to show near and far. It's good times.
I
And
was
then
thinking
there's-
more of the new commercial with the like 2 people sitting next
The
to each
out of
other.
focus guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are done well too.
yeah. I could be the killer. Okay. And what about the state? Jeremy, are you familiar with the state? You remember
yeah.
the near far when they do when the crazy monster Muppet busts into the kitchen and they're like, no, I got this. Show
Mhm.
me far, and the crazy monster Muppet runs outside. So good stuff.
I remember
Underrated
that.
show. Underrated show. All right, let's dive in, get you all killed. So you all, as we know, are prophets of the True Mother. You've been sent west on a holy quest to acquire some keys to figure out a way to get up into space, essentially communicate with the sky shamans of old, the True Mother leading you. You found one of those keys, which is basically like a really big old school like car cigarette lighter thing going on. And then you guys have been you get kind of carrying that with you for a bit. At a certain point back at the Porcelain Citadel, Khalil, he got you guys a job as human traffickers. So you learn later you're human traffickers, but you've got some bodies that you've been lugging around. You've been heading to Fallen Umber. You're not quite there yet because that's where you're supposed to deliver them to some kind of.
Let's not gloss over it, Jeff. We are completely okay with the human traffic.
Yes, you're 100% okay with it. Conscience.
Everyone in the group is okay with it. I feel like it's like a 50 split here at worst.
Well, I'm totally in favor of PvP. So if we want to just do that, that's cool with me. Let's see. Other things that's happened recently. I know MSG and Tango both have a job else on different places throughout, like, because it's part of their revolutionary movement that they're in. I think one of them has to go to the Grass Colossus, the other one to the Forest of Meat. But more recently, you all arrived at a place called the Waystone Graveyard en route to Fallen Umber. You encountered a few different travelers who had been stranded because their own foolish parties like attacked this massive machine worm, and they all died. Two of these travelers have joined your caravan. You've got Rungkar Gruso, who is a documentarian who's got a floating vidicrystal that's like filming everything, it seems like. And then there's Davor, who is some kind of like treasure hunter, scavenger who stole mechanical feet from a nearby mausoleum. The third traveler was trying to write her dissertation and wanted to hire you all to take her to some distant abbey, but you said that's too far away, so never mind. You decided to go to a place called the Tomb of the Dragon Also Rises. You've heard about this from two different places, one from one of your new compatriots and other from, a fellow caravan along the trail here.
We basically want to try to claim firsties, I think.
Yes, because you heard there's like some really important stuff in there. At least they were very confident. So you basically hung out for a bit. You did like a week of destination stuff. You guys are at 29 of 56. You have 56 days basically to get to your destination in time. You're on day 29, so there's still plenty of time, and you're only a week away from Fallen Umber, and then it's just about finding who it is you're supposed to talk to. But when you went over to the tomb, you discovered that there was a mercury lake on top of which there was a bunch of like rust and trash and stuff. You sent Tango down into the lake. Lamb was using her rainbows and unicorns to help give him light beneath the surface. I think it was Ensen and Teapot and Khalil who were kind of creating like a safe spot at the top of the lake, kind of clearing some debris. While Tango was down at the bottom of this lake, I think it was about 100 feet or so, we said, something like that. He found what looked like a keyhole that might match that cylindrical key you all found back at the Porcelain Citadel. And while he's down there, because that's where he currently is, Lamb is still doing her rainbows and unicorns. Up top on the surface, Ensign, Khalil, and Satrap 418 Teapot, you suddenly see the rust moving, and you are attacked by these dead assassin machines. So that's where we're going to pick up. MSG, we'll say you're in the megapede. We'll put you at like distance, so you're at like the farthest range increment. If you want to try to attack from there, it's a disadvantage. If you want to just move up, you can just kind of move to a closer band with an action. So you're within relative range.
Okay.
But other than that, everyone else is at the shore. So let's get started. Let me get some combat music. I didn't even check this.
I'll get a heroic, correct?
Yes, heroic. Ooh. Thank you for reminding me. Heroic, go ahead and take one. Remember, if you want to use them before the roll, if you want disadvantage, you can burn it. After the roll, it's just rolling an extra d6 and adding it to your total. Okay. So, Let's see. Who's going to roll?
It's not me.
Melissa. Lamb, go ahead and roll your... go ahead and roll initiative for us. D6 plus agility.
Alrighty.
Here, I'm plus
Just
4.
thinking about it.
Is it lagging?
Yeah.
You need to beat a 9
Oh my gosh.
to go first. Oh, wow.
How much of a
Okay.
modifier do you have for agility?
4. So
All right, you can do it.
totally gonna.
There's
come
a
down to
chance of 1 in
Go ahead and try to
60.
roll it again if it's being slow, or you can do it manually. Macro might not be working.
4.
Okay.
Oh damn.
So these 4, there are these 4, like kind of almost burrowing, like piles of rust that are like kind of swooping in on you all. They're not going to get any kind of ambush on you all. You saw enough so that they're not going to just ambush and jump you with like any sort of special attack or anything. So it's just going to be a straight up start to the combat. There are 4 of them. There are 4 of you that are easily within targetable range. And so each one is going to use one of their actions to close in, one on Ensen, one on Khalil, one on Teapot, and one on Lamb, who's kind of right at the edge of the lake. Your eyes are all right on the shore of this lake, and each one of you, as they move in, you see right next to all of you, they erupt out of this rust and debris. And what you see almost looks like a mechanical or like a metallic giant shrimp. So you see all these arms and tentacles. You see these strange metallic antennae that kind of pop out first. And they have all sorts of these strange pincers. You can tell that these things aren't living creatures. Like just looking at them, you're 100% certain that these are some kind of death machine. But I would say if you look closely, you can see what looks like old kind of flesh residue. You're not sure if this is like their previous victims, or if somehow they've kind of stitched together both machine and flesh.
They're
So
wearing shrimp suits.
they're machines in shrimp costumes. So we're just gonna do this right around. The first one's gonna go after Ensen. Ensen, you were kind of doing your best to sweep some of the debris off the surface of the lake to make it easier to shine down light. This one's gonna come up at you first. 13. How's that do? Has to beat your ace. It
Does
has
not
to be your
hit.
defense score. Okay. So this thing erupts out. Maybe you have some kind of like sweeping pole or whatever, and you manage to use it to sort of deflect their
Got the
attack away from
golem
you.
arm. It's my
Okay.
weapon.
All right. So you just, as it leaps out at you, these shrimp tentacles coming towards you, you see at the last second out of the corner of your eye, like these antennae peeking out from the rust, and you manage to sweep the golem arm to the side. Then over towards Lamb. Lamb, you're casting. So this one's going to erupt at you while you've been concentrating on sending the light down into the lake. I'm actually going to say this one's going to get advantage with your little
That's
more
fair.
you're concentrating on your spell here, your ability, I should say. 10 and a 22. 22, I'm sure hits.
Yes.
7 points of damage.
Oh damn.
As you feel a pincer just inject right into your back, and you turn around and you can see this monstrous mechanical shrimp. It's bigger than you. You would say fully unfurled. These things are probably about 12 feet long. But you can see that your suit has been torn. Then we'll move over to
Well,
Khalil, who was helping Ensen and
I was
Teapot.
collecting mercury because I have the skeletal hand.
That's true. Okay. Yeah. And I do have stats on that. What that'll give you if you sell it later, but we'll talk about that later. So it's going to
Oh,
go
I
after
have other
you.
uses coming up for that.
Okay. 26 to hit,
oh
Oh,
my
yeah.
goodness.
and 12 points of damage towards clear. Drop it off your life
gosh.
first, and then you can.
I have
split.
14, so I'm okay
Okay.
for right now.
So, Ensign, as you knock away the pincer, you look over to where Khalil was like just kind of kneeling down and scooping up with his skeletal hand this mercury into these glass canisters, and he doesn't notice as this huge giant mechanical shrimp leaps out of the rust and almost pushes him into the mercury lake at this point. And then finally, one on Teapot. Teapot, 19 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You were helping Ensign, I think. And so you probably have like a little bit of notice, but maybe you're focused too much on the one attacking Ensign and you
Sorry,
don't
I'm busy?
realize
No.
you don't realize there's this other one sneaking around behind you.
You come back later. This is a bad time.
9 points of damage.
Jeez.
Okay. Now, all of you who took damage, you do notice, by the way, that these pincers that actually pierced you seem to still be connected to your body. You can see that they are attached, tethered in some way to these shrimp. Ensign, you're fine. Comes over to you all. Tango's not aware of what's happening. Everybody else is. MSG, I'll say you're looking out the side of the megapede window or something. There, maybe the door was open and you could see in the distance something erupt and start attacking them. But again, you're at distant, but you're in the fight. Any order you wish.
So Lamb would like to do like a flicker of the light, trying to kind of signal to Tango that something's going on here, and then discontinue the light.
Okay.
Would you say that I can do something other than that?
Yeah, I'll say one action. Roll for rainbows and unicorns, just to make sure like you can kind of get the effect that you want to. We'll say DC 11 on this, moderate.
Okay.
And then then you'll have a second
I've
action.
been using agility. Do you care what I'm using for the rainbows and unicorns?
Yeah, as long as it makes sense to you and you're consistent, I don't care.
Okay. Let me try this roll again. See if it works. Nope.
Yeah, I just updated Foundry the other day, so I probably have to go back through the macros to see which ones are broken. So you might have just type everything manually tonight. Sorry.
10.
Gonna have to roll a D6 to get that to work.
Oh,
DC
sorry.
was
I did
11.
D20. Sorry.
You got it. 1d20 plus 4. You just fell short.
Oh, yeah.
If you burn one of your heroics, you'll be fine. Otherwise, you're gonna fail. Like, it's not gonna convey the message you want.
Okay. I was just debating that I might need that heroic to, save myself later, but
Probably.
I guess I'll make sure that Tango
So-
knows what's going on.
Because you got the 16, we'll say it's like the ultraviolet grasslands variation of SOS.
Right, yeah.
It's more like, HFH, like holy fuck help, holy fuck help, holy fuck help over and over again. And so Tango would probably be aware of this. Okay.
And then can I do
Second
anything
action.
else, or is that my...
Yes, we'll say
what I
that.
do?
You'll say you have a second action. Everyone gets
Right.
2 actions, so.
I would like to... and this might be too much, and you can say it. Can I pull out my gun and shoot this thing? Or probably not do all of that.
Try to do it all at the same time. How about this?
Or I can just do my deflate and dodge and see if I can just get out of this pincher.
Okay.
do it
Well, you
myself.
tell me. What do you want to do?
I'll do that. That seems more simple for a second action. So
Okay,
I'm
so you
just
want to
gonna
try
do my-
to detach yourself from this thing?
Yeah, yep.
All right, go ahead and roll it.
So agility and deflate and dodge would be a +6.
Okay. This is going to be DC 15 to detach yourself from this.
Gosh darn it.
Do you have another heroic?
I don't. I spent it making sure that Tango knew what was going on. So Tango better say
Okay.
yes when he comes up here.
No pressure.
Calling out Chuck like right off the bat. Okay, you like deflate the suit a little bit, try to dodge out of the way, but as you pull away, you feel as though like there's some kind of like interior hook, like something as it pierced, it might kind of expanded, and it's like kind of tugging on your suit as you do so. So it's not so much like, I don't know how your satrap suit, how you've thought about it, but it's kind of keeping you tugged. It's like when you buy brand new clothes and there's that plastic thing and it's just like not pulling out. It's just like that. All right. That is
But it can't
Lamb.
kill me.
I want to try something.
Go ahead, man.
So you describe these as being somewhat mechanical, yes?
Yeah, they are mostly mechanical, possibly
Okay.
with some
So
yeah.
I've got a vial of liquid metal in my hand. I want to
Yeah.
try and throw it and kind of splash it so that that liquid metal gets in there and maybe interferes with its internal workings?
Okay. I am prepared for this. I did some research on what happens when this mercury interacts with metal, and when it interacts with plastic, and when it interacts with clothing and skin. So yeah, I'm ready to go.
Circuits.
I'll say you're right next to it. So just roll some kind of like melee attack
Sure.
to see if you can smash against it.
Okay. So it's just a D20 plus. Can I do agility since I'm trying to be accurate as to where I'm
Yeah,
placing
it sounds good. These do have a defense of 14, so you have to beat with 14.
Okay.
Did these come out of the lake, or did they come from somewhere
They
else?
came out of like remember how everything's just sort of coated in piles of like rust and debris shavings? They came out of that stuff.
Okay.
So if I spend a heroic beforehand, I have
Have
advantage.
advantage.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll just the first one here. Oh, that would have done it anyway. Oh well.
Yeah, it was.
So
But you could get in that 20.
that's true. I'll do it
Good.
again. Nope. Okay, so 22. So I'm on target, and the
Okay.
metal does its thing.
So you smash this canister of mercury right into like right between like the ridged shells, and it starts to like ooze itself into the inner workings. It also you notice that it almost like it has this sort of attachment effect. It kind of starts to coat aspects of this creature, and starts giving off some vapors and some fumes. And you actually see that this thing certainly is kind of glitching a little bit as it's moving around. But your eyes are beginning to kind of water as the fumes from the close proximity to the like eruption of this.
So my second action is to take my surgical scissors and snip off the line that's connecting us so I can get away.
yeah, I think it's the same thing. Just roll melee attack with it.
Okay.
Same target, beat a 14.
I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna blow my last heroic just because I don't want to be stuck. So
Sure.
17 would have done it anyway.
You reach down with the. Okay, you reach down with your surgical. It's not like thread. You can tell this is some kind of metallic twines, but you're able, like the sharpness of your surgical knife. You keep your stuff in good shape, and you're able to slash right through it. But this thing looks a little disoriented, looks a little twitchy, and you are now separated from it. Who's up next?
I can go.
Okay, Ensen.
And so I want to cast my spell first, Abdominal Abjuration. And I think that would be 4 life for what I'm doing. And what I picture happening is his like stomach starts wobbling and churning in a way, and you'd see this kind of like bubble grow around Dan's character, pushing the pincer off of him.
Oh, okay.
And
So you
nice.
cast it
so
over
he'd be
on
able to
Teapot.
escape.
Okay.
And then-
all right.
That'd be first action, and second action, I want to smash it with the golem arm.
Okay, go right ahead. Teapot will say. So did a bubble like surround him?
Yeah, I picture it like
okay.
it grows out of him. So like
Okay.
it's like a
Goes from your
shield.
abs to his abs and goes outwards.
Okay. How about this? How about Ensign? You roll this. Roll your body magico,
Okay.
and if you can beat a 14, we'll say he's immediately freed. If not, we'll say when Teapot's turn, he'll get advantage if he tries to break it. But if you beat a 14 right
Okay.
now, he'll get instantly
I
separated.
did not.
Okay. Do you have
I
heroics
only
you want to
got a
add?
7. Not for this.
Okay.
It's fine.
I want to hold on to it in case it's worse.
Teapot, you see this protective bubble begin to grow around you. You can see that it's like kind of pulling a little bit on that anchor that's now inside you. You can feel it from the inside of your suit that it's wiggling and almost ready to break free. If you were to try to do this in your turn, you can get advantage on the roll.
Sweet.
Okay.
All right. And then are these things mechanical enough that I would benefit from my reverse engineer?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, and so you can kind of take a quick study of it, see if there's any particular place that might be best to hit it, that might allow its, ambulation or something like that. Sure.
Sweet. All right. 13. Does that hit?
That does not hit. You need to beat a 14 to hit these things. So you need a 15 minute.
I'll spend a heroic on this one.
All right.
Just put some damage out.
Guaranteed hit.
Yeah.
Actually, we need to roll a 2. You have to beat the defense in this game.
Oh, okay.
But 18's plenty. Roll your damage.
Okay. It is
Just the golem arm, right?
Golem arm is ridiculous.
Good lord.
Okay, so where do you hit this thing? Where do you think the weak part of a machine shrimp is?
I was going for its head because it's got the antennas and
Yeah.
things. I feel like a lot of its processing and all that's going on right there. So I picture me trying to like hit its head into its body farther, and that's
Trying to,
kinda
like,
what
cape
I'd be
it
aiming
inward?
for.
Collapse
So
it.
you
croquet
collapse it
it.
into place, like it's like doesn't realize it. It has a retractable head. It's not a shrimp; it's a turtle now. So, and you can see the antenna just kind of crumble and fall off. It is still functional though, but it has taken a massive blow and looks very seriously damaged. Okay, I think you're done. Khalil's all top row is done. So bottom row.
I've got a dumb idea.
Those are the
wanna hear
best
mine
ideas.
First.
Yeah.
I was just gonna dive into the lake and pull it with me.
Okay.
I have a environmental powered suit, so
And a protective bubble around you.
and a protective bubble. So
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
my plan. It's hooked
Okay,
into
let's do
me,
it.
so it's coming with me.
Let's
And
say.
my suit is cumbersome also.
Okay, so we'll say I'll give you the advantage
Sure.
on just a pure strength or something like that, like some kind of strength to see if you can just
Sure.
force it. Yeah.
And I am going to go ahead and exercise some of the suit's power as well. So step it up just a smidge.
Oh, 22 is plenty. Yeah. So you look at this thing and it's got this thread, this needle that's spread inside your suit. This bubble surrounds you. You look over at
Basically
Ensen.
gonna like hold on to it and say, "You're coming with me."
Yeah, and then you kind of exchange a look with its weird beady bug eyes. You think it's eyes, you're not sure, and then you just dive into the lake, and it just goes dragging in, and you hear a screech kind of come from it as you pull it into the Mercury Lake. Okay, you get another action. Get another action. You do another one.
I was probably just gonna see about using my what is it? My repair guy to make sure that my suit's in good shape. My maintenance parasite.
Okay. All right, so you just want to make sure
I'm not leaking internally.
Okay. So you just increase your defense. Okay, we'll just say like it's like an extra defense. Yeah, that's fine. We can do it. Okay. MSG or Tango?
I'll say I saw the symbol or the sign, the flashy shit. And I'll
holy fuck help.
Yeah, holy fuck help. Oh shit.
You'll probably
man.
see me on my way down.
You're not supposed to be here, so I'm gonna go up.
Okay.
Be my turn is swimming up.
No problem. All right. So Tango, we'll say because you expended your whole turn, we'll say right as your movement is ending, you pass right past Teapot, who is swimming down and dragging something behind him. You poke your snot bubble body out of the surface of the lake, and you look around, and you can see combat has broken out with a bunch of mechanical machine shrimp. Okay. MSG. It's been a rough couple of days. You've had the shits. That's what happens when people don't show up for the game. They just have the shits. So.
What happened to eating turkey legs? That was so much more fun.
Oh
That's
yeah,
canon.
back in the day.
That's
back in
canon.
the day. It's true. It's like anybody who's not here just has the shits. So, but you look over and you realize, shits be damned. Your friends, your fellow human traffickers are in trouble. What do you want to do? Melissa hates it when I say human trafficking.
Well, I do see my fellow trafficker lamb is still on the hook. So
That's true.
Can't let that happen. So I'll take my first action to kind of move within range of my rifle.
What's your rifle's range?
It is. That's a good question. Far.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, so you can, yeah, you can, yeah, we'll say you can get there. You're close enough that you can get within far with one action. That's fine. You're not that
All
far
right.
away, so.
So, I'll shake off what's left of my business as best as I can, but I'll just go charging, and I'll take a shot at the one that seems to have its hooks into her.
Okay. Got to beat a 14.
20 plus 5. Man, got to beat it, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll spend heroic, so... Go.
Okay.
It's being a little funny.
Yeah. Most said it was lagging for you guys, so.
There we go.
Okay. 18's plenty. Go ahead and roll your damage on this.
Okay. 10.
Okay. So you waddle up and aim the gun that's probably bigger than you down. Look down the scope.
I think I actually picked up a violent cat rifle, so it's kind of like
Perfect.
it's delightful. And I kind of do the thing where I take a knee when I use my stretchable body to kind of let me kind of do the kitty boots, booty scoot thing on the ground, trying to get that last little wipe out while I'm taking a shot.
Yeah. And so Lamb, while you're trying to rip this this attachment cable away, you just hear ting, and you look up and you can see that there's a giant Terminator 2 style hole in the side of this this mechanical shrimp where the bullet of MSG has impacted it. Okay, that's the end of that round. Let's do.
Does it still have its claw in my side?
Oh, it does, yeah. So let's do a new initiative. Let's say Dan, agility, D6 plus your agility.
That's a 4.
Oh, that's not. I didn't mean to roll a D20, but I'll keep the 1 though, because I rolled a natural 1 on it. So I'll say you got to beat a 5.
He did not. He rolled.
I can't. I
Oh.
have no ability.
Yeah, I mean that's the lowest I could possibly roll, even if I did re-roll a D6. So yeah, they're gonna go
know.
first again.
I pretty much can't beat them.
That sucks.
I have to roll
Okay.
6.
We'll say let's do the encounter die. Everyone take +1 to all your rolls. So any roll you do,
Oh,
just
boy.
take +1 to it.
And they do too.
Yes, that's true. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The one that got pulled into the wall, into the mercury with Teapot, will first action will detach its cable. And by that, what happens is that internally it lets go, and you can see that it stays attached to your Teapot, and you can see this like little metal piece of twine kind of coming out from you, and then it's going to second action scramble back to shore. And it's now coated with this kind of silver reflective mercury with these vapors beginning to course up out of it. And so it's back on the safety of shore. Then I think the one that's, let's see, next to Ensen that has taken a kind of a massive headbutt in a way, it will... I think it's just going to attack Ensign twice, once with one big pincer and once with a claw. Each of these attacks are going to have an extra +1 because I don't have it built into my macro. So whatever I roll, +1. First attack, it's a 20, not natural.
That hits.
Second is a
That
19,
also hits.
and that'll be 12 and 14 points of damage.
Oh my gosh.
That's enough to completely drop me.
So its head clumps down into its shoulders and not blindly, its eyes are still kind of poking out, is sweeping out wildly with these pincers, its antenna kind of flailing around, but it does manage to, at this point, Ensen collapses to the ground. Okay. The one that's on Khalil. Khalil, you're separated from it. It's detached its tether, but you also coated it with this mercury from one of your canisters. Okay. I think what it's first going to try to do is do the like classic kind of shake thing, and just going to try to just shake and clean itself of this liquid. So that'll be one action, which it'll probably be ineffective as you manage to get it between some of its important parts. And then I think with its second action, I think with a second action, it will move over to Ensen, who's on the ground. Khalil, you can take advantage of a reaction now if you wanted, if it's moving, because it's going to move away from you.
Sure. So I imagine when I got and started picking up the silver, I would have laid my rifle down next to me. So can I pick that up and shoot him?
We'll say you could pick it up and maybe like hit it on,
or if this is a reaction.
Yeah, it's a reaction because
he's
moving
close
away.
to the edge of the mercury, right?
Yeah, you
Can
guys
I
are right by the
try
shore.
Can I try and bull rush him or trip him into it?
Yeah. We'll say if you want to do bull rush, give me a strength test. If you want to do like a trip, something, do agility, whatever you prefer.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a trip.
Beat a 15 or higher will do.
Yes.
Right on the dot. So this thing looks to see as Ensign falls to the ground, and kind of suddenly just is not interested in you after it shakes some of the mercury that you've managed to coat it with. It ignores you entirely, tries to slip past you, and as you do, you manage to maybe pick the rifle up and just jam it between its weird little pincer legs, and it just goes tumbling into the water at that point, or into the mercury. All right. So, and then the last one is the one on Lamb, I believe.
Yep.
Okay, Lamb, this one's going to take a pincer shot at you. Because you are still attached, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so it will go ahead and attack you. With its first action, +1 to whatever I roll, so
Yeesh.
25.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
25 is a miss specifically.
25? Yeah, just 25. 15 points of damage there, Lamb.
I'm down.
Okay.
So what
then
happens after you go through all of your life?
What happens once you go through all of your life? I'm sorry, what?
Never mind.
You can burn stats as well, right? If you have capacity.
Yeah,
That's
if
what
you
I
have
was trying to
capacity left, yeah.
I don't think I do. I would still be out of everything.
Okay. So then for its second action, it's going to start dragging Lamb away, away from the lake, away from all of you. It's attached. It's attached to it. It's using its twine, knocked her out, and this thing is departing from the fight, and it is dragging Lamb with it into the Rust Hills. And you guys know that once they start to like burrow into them, it becomes much more difficult to see them. They're kind of very stealthy, so they're trying to get away now with Lamb. Over to you all.
Jeez. I'm so sorry. I rolled
Do I
so
get my
poorly.
D20 roll?
Yeah, we both get our D20 plus
Oh
one
yeah.
on the table.
Yeah. We know what's gonna happen. It's fucking bullshit.
Do you have
I don't have any
heroics too?
heroics, so
Oh no.
I don't know if Joe does.
We could just bullshit for 15 minutes and you can get more.
Yeah, I mean I'm down for that too.
Trying to find the page for this.
155 in the PDF.
I would recommend you
Thank
take at least 15 more minutes to find the page.
I got it. All right. So
What'd you
when a
roll,
hero
Joe?
reaches 0 life, they gain 1 level of fatigue. So the two of you should mark it. And then we have our rule where you just roll randomly. So go ahead and roll a charisma test.
17.
Okay, so 17. Spitting teeth. Hero falls for a round, so no action this round for you, Ensign. Okay. Then you'll get up, spitting out a tooth. You're now gap-toothed, but you can go ahead and roll 1d20 right now.
Do I add anything to it?
No, just straight 1d20. Okay, you'll gain.
9.
So next round, not this round, but next round, you'll have 9 life back, and you'll have 2 advantages to work with.
Oh, okay.
Okay. One rule I totally forgot, Melissa, is that you can't, like, each one of these is only available once per session. So no one else can get spitting teeth. So you have to reroll. So go ahead, Melissa.
18.
Okay. Bruised bruiser. So you fall for a round. Something's broken in there, but it's not too badly. Still, it hurts. The effect is that you have disadvantage on all actions until you take a long rest. But again, you can roll a d20, and you'll have 1 life back. And you will have this is the best part. You will have a humorously large bruise. So you can think about where that might be.
Nobody could see it because I'm a satrap. So.
But somehow it appears on your suit, we'll say. I don't know.
I assume
Yes.
you've got one of those like comically big bruises on your head or something.
Or maybe it's like
a
a dent or something.
it's like a pressurized suit, right? So I picture like you've got like a little bit where the suit's a little bit weaker, so it's like ballooned out right there.
It's like swollen, basically. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And so I only have 1 life for whatever's happening to me while I'm being dragged away.
You're just
thought
being
I
dragged
should
at this point.
Say that out loud.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
don't get that
from
till
what you
you're
could tell, it thinks you're out and dead, and so it's just dragging you away now.
That's right, Dan. Not until next round.
Next round. All right. So everybody's up. Everybody can go, with the exception of Lamb and Ensign. So everybody else.
I want to. Now that I got my rifle in my hand, I want to take a shot at the one that's trying to get away with Lamb.
Yes, go right ahead. Still within near range, so it's no range penalty or anything like that.
13.
You hear a ping, but it's just kind of a grazing shot. Bullet goes wide.
I'm all out of points. I can't do anything further, I'm afraid. Actually, I get 2 actions. Can I take
You
a
get 2
second
actions.
shot?
You can take a second shot. Yep. Just reload.
Good luck.
Fire.
Oh.
This one just goes makes as it's beginning. You're like a submarine beginning to sort of submerge. It's kind of starting to drift down into the dust. The rust drifts. Okay. Top row is done. So bottom row.
I would probably also put shots into the one that looks like it's dragging Lamb away.
Do it. Go ahead. Same issue. No problems with range.
Okay. God bless.
Oh my gosh. We're just not meant to succeed.
No.
So you get a plus. If you didn't add the +1, you do have a +1 to that, which would put you at a 12. I'm not sure if you have any heroics that you want to use.
I do. You know what? I'll use a heroic.
Yeah. And don't forget, you can always burn those ahead of time to get the advantage. So you need a 3 on this, Jeremy.
Wow.
Okay, I got it.
Perfect. Clutch. All right. Go ahead and put the damage in.
Okay.
Oh, dear. Yeah, you blow a huge chunk of it right off the side, and you see like the metal kind of explode. There's this very bright silvery metal like underneath the outer carapace of this thing that just kind of ruptures open. It's still moving though, and it's still dragging her. You have a second action though.
I do. I'll try again.
Do you have a heroic to get advantage first?
Maybe I should. It would be my last heroic, but just to make sure it happens.
Got another one coming in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yes, it's true. 10 more minutes.
Spend 10 minutes taking your last shot.
Yes.
Now, Jeff, I really want to dig into these range increments.
I'll try one more just in case I get a crit, because why
I
not?
should get you natty 20, yeah.
It could happen. It doesn't.
Okay, you still hit though. In a good damage roll, we'll take this thing out. It is that low.
Does the +1 go to damage as well?
Yes.
Okay.
+1 to all rolls.
So I should have had one more on the earlier.
Oh no, I took it. I took.
Okay.
Yeah. That is
13
exactly enough. As the second one, oh no, where do you hit it? Where do you aim? Where does MSG aim to try to take this thing out?
I think it's just like some quickly down under business, like just center mass.
And there's just a hole.
Mm-hmm.
And it just
He already hit the first one, then
Mhm.
strafe down a couple inches, second one, strafe down a couple inches, third.
yeah, like the first shot, like you hit it really good, but it's still like, oh, off on that one. And you just make a little adjustment for the wind, and then you take it out. Okay. Teapot and Tango. Both of you can see that the creature that is pulling Lamb away has fallen. They're still attached. There's two that are thrashing around. I'm sorry. There's one that's thrashing around in the Mercury Lake that Khalil just knocked over.
I'm still in the Mercury Lake.
Yeah,
so
but
I
you're
probably
safe.
Don't know anything. Well, I'm probably gonna go for that one.
Yeah, we'll say you're close enough to get to the splash of the one that Khalil knocked in. But then the other one that you dragged in has reclaimed its position on the shore. And then the one that's got its head smashed in is right next to Ensen still.
Since I probably can't see anything, I was planning on just going to the one that got pushed in and then trying to throw it further in.
Okay, you want to go out and just sort of
I'm just
push
turning
it
into a brawler.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll like a strength test or something like that.
They hate this stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some more power on it again.
Wade into the Mercury. Thankfully, he has some force field bubble from. Well, Ensign's got no life. Would we say?
I also have an environmental suit.
That's fair. Okay, you've got a suit, so we'll say the bubble. I think it's fair to say if Ensign went unconscious, like lost all his life, it's fair to say the bubble dissipates.
My abs are probably not still pulsing to
No.
generate it.
No, I imagine that they slowly just like slowed down, and then the as that happened, the shield dissipates.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 19 is good as you drag this thing you see it trying to thrash around to get back to shore, and you just grab it on what looks like either its tail or it could be its shit vein. You're not really sure, and you just sort of pull on it to see if you can kind of push it down even further. And we'll say you've moved it even further away, so now it has to kind of get past you to get back to shore. We'll say you still have another action if you want, though.
Let's just keep pushing them.
Okay, one more.
Yeah. Or maybe I'll grapple him more specifically.
Okay, that sounds good.
Oh no.
It's just a little too, it's still a shrimp, so it's not a bad swimmer. It just doesn't like, being in this thing. So yeah. Okay.
What would it take for that to be enough?
Well, technically, it is going to be a contested.
Right.
So let me go ahead and roll what he would roll. I would have to roll a natural 1. Actually, no. I'm sorry. I would have to roll a natural 5. Did that roll?
Oh,
yeah.
I don't have enough to contend with that. So. Okay.
Yeah, I just get a +4. So.
Yeah.
But I still. So yeah, it manages to sort of
Just
push.
don't
But
grab
I'll still say it's gonna have to move past you, which means you'll get a reaction as it's trying to scramble if it decides to do that on its turn. Tango.
Yeah, so the one that's on the shore still?
There's 2 on the shore. One has its
Yeah.
head crushed into its shoulders. The other one is like dripping mercury.
Oh, I'm going to go with the Mercury one.
Okay.
I don't know if this thing's got a brain or not, or a soul, but I'm going to go explore and find out. So I'm going to attempt a soul juicing.
Okay.
Very aware that it could be completely impossible. So, yeah.
Roll a soul juice test. So 1 action to move, and then 1 action to sort of gain control of it.
So it's going to be a 4 for me. I got a 10. And you know what? I'll spend a heroic
Yeah, you're gonna need a 15
to make that an 11.
So you kind of reach out, and you're looking for signs of intellect, and you right as you're spending like the entirety of your turn, the time of your turn, like you're searching. It feels like it's just this big empty metallic carapace. But then right at the last second, you notice that somewhere, like hidden within that head portion with the eyes kicking out, there is some sort of tiny creature, like literally encased within layers and layers of metal. As you start to try to reach through those layers and access what's ever there, but it's going to take you an extra round because you think there might be something in there controlling this thing.
Yeah. All right.
So
Cool.
soul juicing is available. It's just you were ineffective. That's all.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm curious to see what's inside this.
okay.
Since it's like
Uh,
Men in Black.
Tango,
Little
it's your
alien
turn.
aliens.
Yeah, it is. It's very much like Vanilla.
Oh my gosh.
It's a
All
D6
right.
plus 4
And this is
for me.
agility, yeah?
It is agility.
I got an 11.
Hooray!
I can't beat that.
Ooh.
I rolled as good as I could roll, and I still lost. So you guys go first.
Since I rolled it, I'm going to start off with that soul juice attempt.
Go ahead and do it. Yeah, Ensign and Lamb, you'll get your life back on this round.
I got a 5.
It's just you're not sure if there's just like if maybe it's more than just metallic protection. Maybe there's some sort of aura that's being emitted from this brain chamber. Who knows? Got another action.
I'm going to. I don't know. I'm just gonna go fly around in front of its eyeballs, see if I can distract it. Like, hey, look
Okay.
at me.
Okay. I will give it
Tango.
disadvantage. Yeah, if you're sticking with it, I'll give it disadvantage on an attack roll. I'll say that. I'll
You'd
give
be
it
like,
disadvantage on an
"Wait,
attack roll.
why are you black and white?
Herring
I'm
fire.
so confused and distracted.
Like, are you feeling okay? You don't look so good.
Look at my snot bubbles.
All right.
Sorry.
Everybody else.
Look how of all the
Uh,
things you've said, that's
I'll
what you
take
apologize
another couple
for.
of pot shots, whichever one is available.
Yeah. So there's one that's like the one that probably looks to be like it's going to cause some trouble is the one that's hulking over top of Ensign right now. It's the one that's got its
Sounds
head
good.
crushed in. But that's probably the best one to go after.
And the one that was going after Lamb is already gone with her, or
Looks like MSG took it down. So
Okay.
it's fallen. Yeah.
all right. So Lamb 18,
That'll be good. Roll your damage.
and
Uh,
is it a
+2 on every roll this time.
10? It's a D10 for the rifles,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yep.
Yeah,
So
and you got a +2. Yeah.
You forgot to slash R it.
Yeah, 4 points.
Yeah, you got a shot
And
off on it. It's still up though.
Second
Um,
shot,
You could take it out.
17.
That'll hit. Yeah, that's a and then roll your damage again. You could potentially take it out with it. Yeah, you can see that it as you shoot it, it like takes this little piece of like shoulder chitin armor off of it and clumps to the ground. It still manages to seem somewhat ambulatory, but it looks to be on its last leg, so to speak. Rest of you. So Ensign and Lamb, MSG and Teapot.
Is one of the detached pincers laying on the ground anywhere?
Yeah, definitely right next to you.
Okay.
Actually, it
is
was an
there one
antenna.
left?
It was the antenna that got ripped off when you head smashed it.
Okay, I thought there was one that got like ripped off of somebody.
There's
as
one in
they-
my suit still.
That was just the tether, not the pincer itself.
Oh, okay.
It's like
Okay.
it's like a small
Uh,
grappling hook got shot inside and it kind of opened up on the inside.
Okay. You said there's an antenna? I
Yeah, there's
see.
an antenna.
Okay. I want to throw it like a spear at the last one.
Okay, so you kind of shake off the dust. You roll over covered in rust and you grab the antenna and you just throw it up at the one that's standing over top of you. It
I
looks
thought
to
that
be.
one was shot.
It was, but it's still
Didn't
standing.
die.
It's not.
Oh, the
down
one
yet.
above me is still standing. Okay.
Yeah.
If the one above me is still standing, I want to do something different. I just want to
Okay.
try and roll on my back and kick it as hard as I can.
Okay, go
See if I
ahead.
can kill it that way.
Okay.
All right.
Like
Is it the top of the hour?
It is.
It
You
is.
son of a
Exactly.
bitch.
All right.
Everyone take
Roll
a.
this with advantage.
I'm rolling something else. Ignore this.
There we go. 21 to hit.
That'll
Roll
definitely
twice in
hit.
case you nat 20 it.
Yeah, I did.
He
that
did,
was
the
the
first one was
second
mine.
roll.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
Sorry.
Yeah, roll your damage.
All right. What would the damage be of me like jump kicking?
I'll tell you this: it's got 2 health left. It
Okay.
really doesn't matter. So
Oh,
just
okay.
describe how you kill this thing. So Khalil just took these 2 shots. It seemed to kind of distract it in
Mm-hmm.
time for you to get your kick off. What happens?
I imagine me like rolling it like I push my feet into it first and like push it above me, and then I kick it just into the lake.
Okay, so it just goes hurtling back. You feel a crunch in its chest as you kick it, as your big muscular feet, your hobbit feet, just crush it, and the chest collapses. But remember, the head got pushed down into the chest, and so the head begins to collapse as well. You hear and it splashes into the mercury water.
All right.
You got one more action.
Is there one still standing?
Yeah, there's one that Tango Carney is harassing. You see him swirling around its face. I'll say, because he's swirling around, we'll give you advantage on a throw if you want, as opposed to the other way around. If you want to take
I had a question about my one spell. The way I pictured hamstring haste working was essentially as haste from D&D, where I get like another attack on my turn. So could I use hamstring haste to get one like normal attack in running at it?
Did you cast hamstring haste?
No, but I could do that with my action.
Okay, but doesn't haste, when you cast it in D&D, like you can cast it, that's still going to take an action, but do you get the extra bonus action that turn, or is it?
Yeah.
Do you? Okay, then yeah, sure, that's fine.
You'd still have one action though, right?
Yeah,
give me an extra attack.
Yeah, it gives you an extra one. Okay, so spend your life for casting.
Okay.
You have to forgive me. I feel like you're not gaining anything since you already have one action.
Yeah,
I'm getting more life from it.
I just want to hit it standing next to it instead of throwing something at it. I want to hit it with my golem hand, and this would let me run over to it.
But it wouldn't let you hit it, because you have to spend an action to cast the spell, which then gives you an extra action, and then you would use your extra action to move. So you get 2 actions in a turn.
Oh, I thought it was 2 actions and a move.
Just straight 2 actions. One of those actions is can be a movement though, or both.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. I would just chuck the antenna then at it.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll it at advantage since it's being harassed.
Okay, do that.
Oh dear.
12s.
Jeez.
Even with the +2, that's still going to be a miss. As the antenna goes hurling wildly and it goes splashing into the Mercury Lake. Khalil's done. Ensen's done. Tango Carney is done. I think
Lamb's
Teapot
taking cover.
and
She
Machine.
doesn't feel very good.
Okay,
That's just me.
Lamb, you're still attached to this thing though. You are still attached. You're
I
tethered
thought
to it.
was-
It's down, but you're still tethered to it. So crawling away, you're still tethered to it.
I'm gonna have to do like the arrow in the side thing where you like break off the arrow, leaving the arrowhead in just in case like pulling it out causes more damage.
Okay. Do you have any kind of like bladed weapon or anything like that?
I have a scimitar.
Yeah, roll an attack.
7.
Yeah, you like hacking away with the scimitar, and the scimitar just can't get through. It's this very thin, very effective metallic twine of some kind. You just can't quite slice through it. Got to get your sharpening skills up. Take a lesson from Khalil.
Can I do that twice?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you
Oh
could.
my
You can.
gosh.
Wow.
Jeez.
You're like rolling the same number twice. There.
So you're just trying to carve away at this thing, but very ineffectual.
Yes, I see that in
MSG,
chat. I could try to drag the corpse behind.
you could have.
me.
Yeah, these things are big. They're like 10 foot, 10 foot tall, metal, etc. But you could probably do it. MSG and Teapot.
I assume I would put shots in the one I can see still standing.
Yeah, take advantage on those shots since Carne is harrying it a bit.
Like that. So we're at +2 now?
We're at +2, yeah.
Yeah. I'll take my nat 20.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh.
Do I
Roll
roll
another
again?
d20.
Wow.
Roll another d20.
Okay.
Okay, if you would have rolled another 20, it would have been just a one-shot kill dead. And in this case, we'll just say double damage, unless you wanted a specific effect, but we'll just say double damage.
I'll go with double damage. That sounds awesome.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
double
4
damage on 2d10 already.
Yeah, so is that 40-10 plus 4 now?
Yeah.
That sounds great.
+2 for the round bonus, so it's 28 points of damage. Okay, it's still up actually, but
Oh my gosh.
that was a brutal shot.
Is it +2 on each of them? Is that plus?
Well, that's what the +4 on the end was. 'Cause it's 2d10.
Oh, is that okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Still, I'm happy with that.
If you put a second shot into this, you're probably able to kill it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm shooting it like right in that little, like the little poop stripe that goes down the back, because it's been
take the
weakened by
shot.
the mercury. Just trying to make it split.
Do
Take
it.
the shot.
Okay.
Yep. 18 will be
Okay.
good. See if you get the natural 20 on the second one.
Okay. Why not? I
Oh my
did.
gosh.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Roll another natural. Roll another d20. See if you can get
It could
it.
happen. It doesn't. But I'm okay with that.
You're making me
Okay.
feel real nervous about my upcoming rolls here.
Yeah, I'm stealing
He's
all the
taking
good
all of
luck.
it.
So here's what we'll say. We'll say the force of your shot is so immense that it lifts. Like the first one goes in and it's like stumbling and it's looking lost and confused. It kind of turns around and spins. The second shot comes in with such great velocity, it just throws it into the lake and it just begins to start sinking down and gets entangled with the last one that's still in the lake, that teapot you're trying to like wrestle with inside the lake. And so it's just so they're kind of caught up, their pincers, their antenna now, as this dead one is just literally dead weight, and it's dragging this other one down to the surface of the lake, or excuse me, to the bottom of the lake. Teapot, this was a surprise, but you're the last one to go if there's something you want to do right here. But you can see this thing is already just entangled, beginning to sink. What do you want to do?
I just want to see if I can like rip its head off and drag it back to the surface.
That's a strength test, man. We'll say strength test. We'll just keep it as normal defense because it is being harried by the one that's sinking it to the ground. So yeah.
I'm gonna spend a heroic to get advantage at least.
Okay. Oh
that's
no!
just not enough.
Oh my
Wow.
God! Jeremy took all the good rolls. He's so
Yes, he
selfish.
did.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
I get 2 actions, so by God, I'll just do it again.
Do it again.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
gonna spend another heroic.
You're gonna roll 4 d20s.
Yay!
There you go.
Natural
There it
20.
is.
With a natural 20, you rip the head clear off. No problem.
Yeah, that way we got
Of the
something
one
to look
that-
at.
Of the one that you were wrestling with, right?
Yeah. That way we got something to look at. Maybe
You rip
maybe we can
Yeah, you rip it clear off. No problem. And then we'll say
science.
you watch as the 2 bodies just sink down into the dark depths below you. And
And it watches too.
I think, let's see, Ensen killed his. The one on Lamb has been taken out by, I think you're all good. They are all
Still
dead.
attached to me for anybody that cares. about
All right,
detail.
we'll stop there. Stop initiative there, and you guys look around. I assuming, are you coming back up to the surface there, Teapot?
Yeah, since I don't know about what's going on, so
Okay. So you come back up to the surface. You look around, and you can see Ensen is kind of getting up. His muscles are flexing. He looks like he's taking a brutal beating. You can see Lamb, your fellow satrap, is a further distance away, probably a good, maybe 30 to 40 feet away from the shore. She's still attached to one of them, but it seems inert, doesn't seem to be moving. Everybody seems intact currently. What do you guys want to do?
I kind of want to see about taking. Well, we'll probably need to get everybody gathered up first.
Mm-hmm.
Get Lamb freed up.
Okay.
She's just sitting there, just trying to cut this thing. He's just sitting. sort
But I kind of
defeated
want to see
looking.
about like taking one of these apart and see what's going on with it. Maybe I can use my inherited MacGyver ability. It's a
As
chance
you-
to actually use it.
All right. Teapot, as you go over towards where Lamb is, you help. She's like still trying to saw away that kind of metallic thread. and you start to kind of look at. You still have the head of the other one, like kind of tucked underneath your armpit there. Right as you get Lamb detached, the two of you watch as the creature that was attached to Lamb suddenly begins to move and stand up again, as if it's like regenerated somehow. I'll give you all like it's kind of in this regenerative state, so I'll give the two of you something to do. Like you guys can do something now if you want before I'm gonna give it an action.
Lamb wants to pull a gun out and shoot it because that
Okay.
freaking
Yeah, go ahead.
So
No good.
I have a heroic.
No, it's no good. You're not usable.
Not allowed.
Sure, roll your damage as you pull a gun out to shoot it.
That is a 2d12.
Okay, 12 points of damage. Very good. And then Teapot, you're right there as well. What do you want to do? As you again, you guys are further away from the shore. Everyone else is kind of mingling around shore to some degree. This thing is away from shore, but the
And
two of
just
you
to
are
be clear,
specifically
since I
there.
did see that Teapot has the head of one of them, like I'm shooting not at the head, shooting like the rest of the body.
Sure.
Where did you get him into the lake? I assume.
So you guys hear Teapot shout, you hear Lamb's gunfire, and the rest of you look over and you can see the very one that's got holes in it. It's been shot multiple times by MSG, by Khalil, now by Lamb, is now reanimated.
Is it like fully functional, or is it like still?
It
in
seems to not.
disrepair?
It's like taking a second to kind of go through like it's a recharge, but it doesn't seem to be having any adverse effects from the damage done to the exoskeleton here.
Oh my gosh. I guess I'm gonna try and drag this one to the lake.
Okay, go ahead and roll your strength, and I'll do the same thing.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Just because I want to make sure this gets done, I'm gonna spend my last heroic. I was trying to save up heroics.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The 17 will be. And so we'll say, because you get a hold of it, we're not going to jump back into initiative. We'll say at this point, you guys see Teapot is dragging it over. It's still kicking and screaming. MSG, you're confident you blew this thing to hell. Maybe at this point, Ensen, with your big muscles, you go over, you give it a hand, and you guys just chuck it into the lake at that point. And it continues to sink, and you hear it as it screeches, and it goes down into the water. Or into the marine.
Are there any other ones that were not in the lake?
I've got the head of that one.
Yeah, I think
That's
one
it.
of them you
All
have
the
a
rest
head
them
of.
went into the lake.
No, there's one out here.
Is there?
Three of them
Oh.
are now in the lake. You have the head of one of the three that are in the lake, and there's one more
That's
that
right.
was. It's still dead though. It doesn't. But this other one doesn't seem to be reactivating.
Oh, maybe because the brain case got smushed.
Who knows?
Is it the one that I hit with my golem, or?
I think it was the one. There was one the one that you donkey kicked is the one that's in the lake. Oh no. The one that you donkey kicked is the one that's still around here. MSG's crit was the one that sent the other one inside. So there's still one more that's within arm's reach, but it's not.
Let's just
we'll
go
say it's
put
like
him
on the shore.
right by the edge, so if we see
I
something,
want to watch it and see if it. Yeah.
Okay.
put it
Yeah,
right by
watch
the
it.
edge.
Yeah.
If it
Get
starts
ready
to
to-
do something, you know.
You
And I
watch-
want to
see if it
try
starts
and,
moving.
I want to
Okay,
try and
you-
like disassemble this one.
Okay, so you guys wait, you watch, you look. Minute goes by, 2, 3, 5. This thing does not seem to reanimate. So you have one fully intact one. It's taken some damage, but it's fully intact, but it seems to be inert. And then you have the head of another one that seems to be intact. The head seems to be intact.
Yeah, and that's what I want to try and mess with.
All right, go ahead and roll your Vec roll here. Roll your skill. See if you can unpeel the onion.
Unfortunately, I have no more. Well, okay. I'll take
24 will do. It's actually not too difficult. It is very much like an onion, as there's all these overlapping layers of kind of metallic armor. But as you peel them away, you find at the center of this a very small, about maybe 2 inches tall, with these long antennae that are even like twice, 3 times as long as the body itself. A dark, dead, actual shrimp.
I want to eat it.
Okay, you snatch it out of Teapot's hands and you eat it.
Oh, you're gonna have terrible shits. You really shouldn't do that.
And I want to use my skill Iron Gullet.
Okay,
Not
go
worry
ahead
about
and
that.
roll an extreme endurance test. You can add your iron gullet. So there's a DC 19 on this.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
You can add your iron gullet skill to it.
Whoa.
my.
Crit.
Oh my god.
You guys are crazy.
Crit that shrimp.
First of all, it tastes awful. And you're pretty confident that this thing has been dead far longer.
I wasn't eating it for the taste.
Yeah, you're pretty sure that you're pretty sure it's been dead far longer than just the last
today.
few minutes. It's just it doesn't even crunch when you eat it. It's just oh gosh, it's absolutely awful. I'm gonna say that you feel no immediate effect, but I'm making a
All
note
right.
for later. Ensen ate the shrimp. Oh dear. We'll worry about that at a different date.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Is there anything valuable that can be like salvaged or scrapped from the intact one? Now that we know
So-
a little more about him.
Yeah, so you get over to the intact when you start like deconstructing it, the exoskeleton, and you realize that like much like a satrap suit, there's a lot of space in here, and like the controlling unit is very small. So much of the rest of the suit just seems to be storage for stuff it's scavenged. You find like in different places like these little receptacles that open up, and there's different weapons that start to uncork, but there's also storage for stuff that's been collected, kind of picked up. But you find a few things. First of all, you find a plastic script of Emerald City bucks. You find $19, like just in like a money clip, like it just sort of
Nice.
picked up along the way. You find, I'm just going to give this one to you. I think you would know what this is. You find what you know to be a plasmic converter, and it basically looks like one of those gun syringes, but it's got this huge hypodermic needle, like it's rusted and doesn't look particularly sanitized. And then there's some sort of receptacle. You would know, Teapot, that if you were to take the blood of a creature or like the biomechanical fluid of a creature and put this into the receptacle and then inject it into somebody, they can perhaps take on some of the properties of whatever creature that they get injected with.
Oh, that's fancy.
Though there is a chance it could be the negative properties. So, it's a roll.
I'm totally willing to like volunteer myself as a guinea pig for that.
What if we just got like really cool things and souped up the battle ass?
I like that too.
Yes.
Wait, we take the properties of one and we can inject it into another.
Potentially, yeah. So
what if,
yeah.
What if we took is this like a one-time use gun? Do you know?
You would know, Teapot, that it's
I'm gonna
this
chain this together.
this thing is very. Looking at this, like the gun itself, the converter seems very fragile. There's the possibility that it could break upon usage. So effectively, what I'm going to ask is for a skill roll, and if
Don't do bad.
the skill roll is high enough, you might get a second use out of it. If the skill roll is low enough, you won't get a second use out of it. It's kind of where
That's
you're at
fair.
with it.
I
But
thought
there
it
is
would be fun to combine MSG with me.
if only you had crackers to be a guinea pig. Yeah, it's a good one. There's
I
one
was
other thing
thinking,
you
like,
find.
You take blood from one and put it in another, and then take blood from that one that has the two combined, and then put it in another, and then like you've chained.
Yeah, we give Ensign the stretchy powers.
Thought that'd be funny.
It would be.
Sorry, what's the other thing that we found?
I think
you
he's just gonna get that. The voice is probably the feature he's gonna get though.
You find a a Yellow Lander's gentleman's helmet inside.
Okay.
Think of it kind of like almost like a safari type helmet, like a kind of a wide brimmed. It's not a proper safari, but it's like a wide brim, kind of like expedition cap, but yellow. It's kind of like a yellow sash. It's dirty. It's messed up. But as you're kind of examining it and you flip it over, Teapot, you realize the previous owner's head is still inside the cap.
Oh, oops.
You notice that there's something in the mouth as well.
Oh. I guess. Let's take a peek.
Is
Yeah,
it
you yank it
teeth?
out.
'Cause I always wanted teeth.
There are a couple teeth. Yeah. Yeah.
You can have them.
Nice.
So you now have a couple teeth that you can adorn your battle ass with.
Yes.
Otherwise, it seems to be a map of some kind. I mean, like you think it's a treasure map, who knows, something, but it's for some place called the Endless Houses. And it seems to sort of map out different houses, and it seems to mark out one specific house.
Okay. Guess we'll file that away for another day.
Yeah, and that's all you find. Yeah, those are the things that you find inside.
Yeah. Not a bad haul.
Lamb wants to look at the map.
Okay. Lamb, you looking at this, you would know, being a satrap yourself, that the Endless Houses is a place that you probably would have heard of but haven't gone to. It's far to the west, very close to the Black City itself. It's not a very hospitable location. Kind of strange, haunted, something, who knows, cursed, all sorts of wonderful different adjectives. But you would be familiar with some vague kind of folklore stories, rumors about it. But it is a destination
Way the
really
hell down there.
way the hell west, right next to Black City.
Okay. So,
If we even make it that far, sort of place.
Oh, you'll
but
get
now we
there.
have a
I
map
mean,
of something.
you all
there.
might, but the caravan will get there. Just be a whole different group of people by the time you got there.
Maybe there'll be better people in that group.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Probably not.
I think you have way too high expectations. Okay. So that's what you find. There you go.
I guess if we want, I can try and take that key and open the door down there.
Yeah, let's not forget about that.
So it's a brilliant idea.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
go
I
ahead.
don't know what I can do about, what anybody can do about recovering at this point.
Mhm.
So I added the gentleman's helmet and the plasmic converter to the treasures. To the treasures
I think
document.
one day
Oh,
when we've
cool.
got a few heroics saved up to burn,
Mm-hmm.
we should mess with that converter.
Yes, agreed.
It's a good idea. So the gentleman's helmet does actually, if you wear it, you do get +1 to your defense. But if you ever suffer a critical hit, you receive a message from the last person whose head was in it.
That's brilliant.
So there you go. So what's the plan?
Do we want to just watch as I potentially die down into the water?
Yeah, Lamb's short resting to get some life back.
I'll go with you. That way, at least there's a at
Second
hand
opinion.
witness. Yeah.
Yeah, how does resting work? To
It's actually a whole day. A short rest
Okay.
is an entire
Yeah,
day, so-
long rests are a week, and then short rests are a day.
okay.
Oh, do we want
Does
to
that
rest?
clear fatigue as well?
It's,
No, that's a long rest thing, I
yeah,
believe.
it's-
Okay.
you either to recover an expended daily ability or 1d4 life is what you
Yeah,
get
so-
from 1 day's rest.
Exactly.
Mm.
Do we want to spend a day resting first and then go die?
I mean, you can go die while I'm resting.
The important thing here is that you go die.
Yeah.
I mean, I
I'll
can't
start
really...
resting and I'll interrupt it if you need me.
Okay. Don't worry.
Okay. Do you want to go down there? Do you want to take care of this? So
Yeah,
you guys
let's-
are at 29 out of 56 days. So 1 day's rest would put you at 30, which means you still have 26 days to get to your delivery. So
I
Do
mean,
we
I'm
add
jumping
anything to the 1d4 roll?
I think
no,
it's
it's just
a
1d4. Just straight 1d4.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, so Teapot's going down. Tango, are you shadowing him as he goes down?
Yeah, I'm going down too.
All right. Khalil and MSG, what are you two doing? I know what Lamb and Ensen are doing.
I'm just gonna have my rifle ready in case we have some more unexpected guests, and just
Sure.
go on Overwatch.
Okay, sounds good. MSG,
Probably do the same. I'm not gonna be able to get down in there with them, so
okay. Okay. So Teapot, Tango, you begin to sink into the dark Mercury Lake below. Now, before, Lamb was doing rainbows and unicorns to provide some light. Are you going to forego your rest for a little while, Lamb, to do that? Still? To continue to... Because now Teapot is going to...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you take the key canister that you have?
That's the plan. I mean, we got the impression it fits, so
Okay.
Either we're using it or we're losing it.
All right, so the two of you sink down to the bottom. You can see the nearby the bodies of these exoskeletal shrimp, these machino shrimp, are inert at the base of the lake. Okay, now you get over to the door itself, and remember it's sort of like think of it like there's like a kind of a submarine hatch with and then there's like a canister next to it that seems to sort of slide this in.
Mm-hmm.
And so like as you slide it in, you notice that it doesn't go in all the way, but it does seem to kind of lock in place. And then you let go and the canister just slowly rotates. You see like the movement of the liquid mercury kind of moving away from where it's happening. And then you can see, if you recall, that the key itself had like interior like glowing liquid, which is actually giving you a little bit of light down here, and it begins to dissipate. And a couple moments later, you can see the wheel, like this like old kind of mechanical wheel. Like you can reach out, you start to turn, and eventually it just loosens up entirely. And you pull open the door. You can see that once you open the door, the liquid doesn't rush in, and you realize that there's some kind of force field barrier. And you're thinking maybe the canister liquid thingy, maybe possibly Teapot, you would probably put 2 and 2 together, maybe created this.
Nice.
But you look inside, it is pitch black inside.
Delightful. I don't know if I've got any way to make light or not.
I don't. You want to go in anyway?
I mean, I've got a laser-eyed land squid. Maybe I can just set him to low. Just
Okay, you'll get. I mean, like that is like the equivalent of getting a lighter. So like you go in. Do you go inside? The two of you go inside?
I mean, sure.
All right.
Nothing like committing fully to making mistakes.
Yeah, I go in.
Okay, you guys.
I don't know how I'd get a light source down here and still have it work anyways.
That's a fair question. So you push through this force field. Both of you go ahead and make aura tests.
Oh, no.
Oh my goodness, these are horrible.
Oh,
I did great. I got a 3.
All right. Both of you failed. Both of you go
Of
really,
course.
really low. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Up on the surface, an hour goes by. They don't come back. Another hour goes by. They don't come back. Another hour goes by.
No, I don't
They
think we're
don't
going to
come
wait
back.
that long.
That's what I was waiting. I was waiting to get interrupted.
Wait, what's
Uh,
wrong?
Yeah, did we just straight up die because of this?
I don't want to ruin the surprise.
Has there been any change to the surface of the Mercury at all?
No, it looks fine. And you haven't noticed any other the suspicious rust mounds slowly burrowing their way towards you either. You've been keeping a close watch, you and MSG.
Did we come up with a rescue plan while we were sitting here resting and just moving our mouths?
Does not sound like it. I can't believe you both failed.
Awful
can.
rolls too. Awful rolls.
I can completely fail. I mean,
Uh,
believe it.
Oh yeah, it's fair. I mean, I get you, but Chuck, I figured you'd crush this.
I'm gonna blame it on being
The
sick.
Rona?
That's
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
what it is.
Rona's fault. Thanks,
The
Obama.
Rona.
Yeah. Did we have any rerolls banked at all? Did we have any? ones left?
I don't have any left in my notes, so unless
It's
Melissa
fine.
had some.
You can just be dead like me. It's cool. I'll teach you all the tricks. Like, want to get in someone's nose? I got you.
Well, that sucks. Wonder what kind of stuff they had.
Just start going through their shit back in the caravan.
I had a
like-
potted plant and a battle ass.
Carney's got a lot. Why does Tango have so much donkey porn? This is really strange.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Because the problem with me is until I get a long rest, everything is a disadvantage. So, like,
You're probably
not-
staying for a while, anyways.
Well, I mean, I don't think any of us have any way to get down there without taking damage because of the Mercury is the issue. And we've got no way to see down there as far as I know, unless we've got a periscope or somewhere. Even that won't help though. It's a pool of liquid metal.
So
do we have, like, can we put together any of the like I wasn't necessarily clear on sort of the material, but it was like they had something that was rope like.
Yeah, it was a kind of this kind of thin metallic tether.
Can
They also you also have the exoskeleton of one of these that has a lot of like these open
We're trying to
pockets
figure
and
out how
stuff
we can
inside.
go down to them.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can actually like change my overall body shape. I could maybe squeeze myself into one of those, and you know what? Leap of faith.
I
Okay.
can give you light. I mean, that's not a problem.
And I can give my abjuration shield around you too.
Oh, there we go then. That's practically a plan.
Can we take some of that tether and tear a couple pieces and tie it together so that we can lower him in the exosuit with a tether?
Yeah, if you break down the exoskeleton, you can see that it's a huge line. Like think of it like a big old fishing reel. And so there's probably a good 500 feet
Ooh.
of this.
Nice. So then we can hold that up here, connect it to the exoskeleton that MSG is in, and lower him down.
Do that thing that we should have done the first time.
Lamb was really just like, I want to take a nap. Y'all just do whatever you're going to do. And now I'm like, oh, I took a little bit of a nap. I feel
I
a little
really
better.
need to clean myself. I was disgusting back there.
Oh god. All right, so
Come up with an
MSG's
elaborate
going
system
down.
of poles and
Yeah.
whatnot.
I'm gonna strike a pose, and his stomach's just gonna start like churning and waving and bubbling.
okay. All right.
And this glowing shield appears around his exoskeleton.
She's just the worst. I mean, it's the worst and the greatest thing all at the same time. Okay. Okay. So you start.
Subtract
So
the white
MSG, you just start sinking to the bottom. Okay.
With a tether attached, just
Mhm.
for clarity.
Okay. Tether's attached. No problem. Lamb, are you casting your rainbows and unicorns?
Yeah, I'll leave the holding of the tether to people stronger than me.
Okay. MSG, you get to the bottom. You can see off to the side. There's the exoskeletons of the 3 that you guys tossed into the lake, and you can see that there's this vault style door, like this circular that's been pulled open. It's hanging open. You can see that there's this glowing force field that's giving off a very modest amount of light, and through it, you can see the body of Teapot laying on the other side, completely inert.
I suppose I should leap of faith and all that. Let's just go in.
Go make an aura test as you push into the
Let's do better than the rest
the
of us.
force field.
I'll spend my last heroic to do this with advantage.
Okay.
I don't think I have. Yeah, I don't have any aura.
Yeah, you don't.
so-
You don't actually see any snot because Chuck is entirely incorporeal, so like you actually
Yeah.
don't see any signs of Tango.
Oh my
Ooh,
gosh.
I spent a heroic, so I'm rolling with advantage.
You used up
Uh,
all the good juju earlier.
14's probably not good enough.
What skills do you have? 15
I
is
have-
the target.
I have big game hunter, spelunking, foraging, and chemistry.
Spelunking
I'll
is-
give you spelunking for this, as it is sort of like a kind of underwater. I'll give you it just so that it doesn't end the freaking session, right? But you feel as you step through, despite being in this awkward exoskeleton, you feel as if something is just tearing away at the very psychic membrane, the very soul that makes up who MSG is. And you feel it almost like leave your body at one point. You look off to the sides in this really dark room, and you see what looks like some kind of complex machinery, and you can see momentarily your soul seems to become visible as like this glowing violet shade starts getting pulled out of you, almost getting sucked into one of these small vacuum tubes on the side of the wall as you go in. But you're able to sort of clench a little bit.
That's mine.
No. And you remind yourself of who you are. And you see it shift right back into your body. You see a long tunnel up ahead. There does seem to have been another door here, like in front, but it appears to have been damaged and sort of ripped off its hinges and is laying on the ground. But you can see a long tunnel descends even further into this area. As you're standing here, lights begin to sort of flicker a bit as you see what seems like the residue of, electricity power, like some sort of automated system is trying to kind of click on. It seems to be struggling. And then you see something flicker in front of you, almost in a ghostly image, and you hear a voice. Echo out from that flicker, just gibberish to you.
Gesundheit.
You see the flickering again, and then this creature appears in front of you in sort of ghostly form, very similar to Tango in some ways, and how it's just sort of like this weird lack of physical structure to it. And it has a very, it has a bipedal look to them. Long arms, long legs, has this almost sort of quarter moon shaped head in some way. Like the chin is heavily pronounced, the forehead is sort of heavily pronounced, and it's got like this double breasted coat, and the eyes kind of look at you, this small little mouth, and you see it's holding like its hand, like one of these weird partially webbed hands to its chest, and the other arm it sweeps backwards to the tunnel behind it.
Don't mind if I do.
Okay. Do you want to do anything with Teapot? Do you want to do anything with the tether?
I'll do like a little, shave and haircut 2 bits, like some little tug thing that's playful,
Okay.
not the holy shit everything's wrong.
Okay. Those of you up top, you feel some pulling on the tether, and you get the sense that he's like, "Hey, everything's okay." That's you're pretty sure the universal tugging symbol for everything's okay.
Not
Uh,
frantic.
What do you guys want to do up top?
So if the exoskeleton worked for him, there are other exoskeletons there that we could possibly all take this journey. It would interrupt our rest, Ensign, but
Mhm.
we could all take the journey. We just need to find
Well, I don't know if the exoskeleton worked because he hasn't come back up, right? So I don't know if the exoskeleton worked because of my shield or not.
I see.
I don't know if I would trust it without that. I don't have that much life left to make 2 more.
Yeah, and I only have a grand total of 3 life anyway, so
Yeah. Is there like any mechanism anywhere around this lake? Like, how is this lake look naturally formed, or does it look like it was manually made? Is there any sort of like drainage system on it?
Go ahead and roll like a thought test.
All right, I've got all sorts of that.
yeah.
God, I love that line from Starship Troopers. He sucked his brains out. Such a good. It's my favorite line from the whole movie. Yeah, you don't see any drainage or anything like that. No. You look around.
Okay.
There's just trash and debris and rust like everywhere around you.
What's the
Who else is up
landscape
here? Lamb and Khalil, you can roll that too if you want. Thought, you
what
can
is
add.
Khalil?
Yeah,
Thought.
you can roll thoughts. If you have any kind of like observational or engineering type thing, you can go ahead and roll that too. You can add that as a skill, I mean.
Oh my gosh.
Only got protocol.
Yeah, Chuck, I was kind of wondering about that too.
What's the target?
I'll take the higher the better, basically.
Something other than 5, because that's all.
5 ain't gonna give you a
I'll
squat.
spend my d6 then, and I'll roll it with it.
More than a 1.
Oh, come on. 16.
16 is good.
Barely more than
15,
one.
15 will get you something to work with. So you're like maybe in the process of doing your Overwatch, you're kind of scanning the horizon a bit, and you see on the other side of the lake, maybe half a mile away or so, you notice that there is like a stack of debris and trash. It does kind of seem a little bit more pronounced than everything else. Everything else seems to be kind of a mix of trash and rust wash. But you look off and it just kind of has this sort of strange construction to it. You start to peer down the scope of your rifle and you swear you see what looks like some pipes.
Okay, well, I'll report this to people.
Go check those out.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys wander over, you take a look, and you can see that there are multiple sets of pipes, some that vertically go up, some that go up and then kind of right angle curve. You see all sorts of these wheels and these things you can kind of just sort of turn here. It looks rusted and broken down a bit. You see what looks like some meters and stuff, like old, like it hasn't been used in a while. I'll say with your 16, Khalil, I mean, you think this is some kind of possible sort of drainage or like level control, like water level control. From what you can tell, you don't think this is sort of naturally formed. Like this has every signs of like a a structure that's been made. Like, this doesn't look like this was naturally formed.
Do any of the like?
Yeah, I'm not an
know.
engineer.
Mechanical guy.
Do,
Yes.
down
any
in
of the
bottom.
valves like? I'm trying to
You're-
picture what
Cannonballed.
Ensen would be looking for. Like, do any of these valves look particularly more used? And do any of the pipes look like, are they like translucent in any way that I would see some of them have like things in them or not?
Yeah, none of them are translucent. They all look to be some kind of like really, really heavy dark metal that seems to be resisting the rust pretty considerably.
Okay.
Hard to
Imagine
tell
Ensen's
whether
looking for,
anything
like,
have been
wheels.
used. What's that? I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, I imagine Ensign's looking for wheels to turn or levers to pull.
There's definitely wheels and levers, and there seems to be some kind of like gauges here and there that you're not even sure what you're reading. Doesn't
So-
even seem to be written in a language that makes sense to you anyway.
Lamb has expert mimicry. I don't know if that can be like I've seen Teapot mess with mechanical stuff before.
I'll take it.
will Mess with mechanical stuff too.
I will take it. Go ahead and roll.
Okay. Alright.
Thought, add your skill
Thought.
for mimicry to try to mimic him as
Not
he's
that he's ever done this
examining.
before, but yeah.
Yeah,
While you're doing that, I'm gonna be
this
like
will, there's a limit to what information
banging
you're
on
gonna
the
get.
pipes
Yeah.
to see which one's empty, like
Okay.
not getting anything out of it.
Yeah, they're all hollow, and there's several of them, and they're quite large, by the way. They're not just like you couldn't
I
even wrap
rolled
your
a
arms
nat
around.
Oh,
20.
nat
There
20.
you go.
Okay,
Nat
course
with a
20.
nat 20, you guys have had to drain think of the megapede like a septic tank, right? There's like goo at the bottom of the megapede, and you throw
There's
it
in
food.
and there's out.
Which
it
may or may
dissolves.
not have used to been people.
You've probably had to get some of the stuff that didn't really dissolve properly, and you know that there's certain ways that you can kind of turn this, turn that. So you just start turning some of these wheels, Lamb. That makes sense. You've seen Teapot do this before. And all of a sudden you just hear rumbling, just horrible rumbling, and you hear this cacophony sound coming from like this clanking coming from these pipes here and there. And
She
in
just
about-
yells, "Something's on the move."
about 30 seconds, you just see from like one of the larger pipes, you just see an explosion of mercury that just goes flying up into the air. Steam starts pouring out in different directions. You see it's kind of vaporizing almost as it flies up in the sky, but it's also dropping here and there as it's raining mercury all around you. You peer
Definitely wanna
back at
find
the
some
lake.
Debris.
Yeah, figured.
Yeah.
That's an umbrella.
You peer back at the lake, and it does seem as though the level is certainly dropping.
Hey, it worked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Take
Af-
cover, but yeah,
mercury.
probably should have done
rain.
this earlier.
After about an hour, you can see that pretty much all of the basin of this lake is effectively depleted. There are still some slimy residue here and there, so it's not going to be perfect, but you don't have to wade into it. And it is effectively an empty, giant, metallic of some kind bowl.
Wee.
I'm gonna
It's
finish
just
smashing
fine.
the hell out of the other shrimps that we threw in there to make sure they don't come back.
Okay, so you
Now that
climb
they're
down
exposed.
in. MSG, I'll say you probably heard through, you probably heard the sounds of something crazy happening. Would you have gone and followed the direction that that this strange figure is directing you to, or would you have gone and investigated?
Well, before I do, I don't really know what Tango is, but my other companion here, I see him, and I am a man who both procures and creates my own variety of drugs, including those of a psychic. I like to send people on trips, really. So, seeing a lack of any other real option, I'm just going to give the strongest hallucinogen I have to see if that'll kickstart our friend here.
Okay. So you take whatever the strongest hallucinogen you have, start messing around with Teapot's suit. You're like, I don't even know where the hell his freaking faces because this thing's because he's a satrap. We're not really
See,
sure
now
what you're
if
looking at here.
If I had the experience to make my ultimate wake up coffee,
Brings your
Just gonna
soul
be
back.
See how we can get my character now.
so strong it brings you back to life. That's the next one.
That would be awesome to have like like coffee based necromancy.
That's what it is.
Let's
Yep.
do it. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, MSG, you're unable to awaken Teapot no matter what you're trying. No matter what you're trying, you're there for a little while, and like every so often, like the figure flickers back out, flickers back in, goes through the same boots, the flute, over and over again. But after about an hour, we'll say you start to notice like strange bubbles starting to pop up from the basin of the like outside here and there. Get a peek up a little bit, and you start seeing the surface is beginning to come down.
I don't really want to risk going through that field again. So, just kind of wave.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
So the figure is on the same side of the field as.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll flash forward, and we get to the point where the entirety of the lake has been drained.
Yes.
There's
And
still
we
some.
do want to see what is in there now that we can see all of it.
Yeah, so there's bodies galore, like skeletal, mechanoskeletal. There's people who have tried to probably come in here and bad things have happened to them. And then it's a series of just these very smooth sides of. You think it's metal. You're not even actually sure what the substance might be. But it almost has a kind of almost like a perfect bowl or basin shape to it. And you see occasionally there's a few vents here and there, like little holes here and there. But that's about it. All empty bodies and the exoskeletons of the shrimps.
Do we see MSG as we're going in?
Yeah, we'll say that eventually, as you're getting down there, you see the door, which goes down in to at the very base of this bowl, and you can see that on the outside there is this flickering sort of blue force field of some kind that still seems to be in effect.
Liam's gonna try to tug on the tether, see if we can get some sort of communication.
can you hear me through this field?
No.
You can actually.
Oh.
Yes.
That makes it
It
so
still
much
says
easier.
no.
I was tempted to just let it go, but like, no, you can. You really can.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, our friend here, I mean, nothing to be scared of. I mean, we all have to take risks in service of the Holy Mother. When you come through the door, it's going to try to suck your soul out, so just be prepared for that.
Oh.
Sure how to get his back in him. I've been trying to, but not really my specialty.
I wonder if maybe Tango knows how to put them back.
No, I don't know where the hell he is.
Oh. Well.
I mean, it was a soul-sucking sort of thing. I mean, so just maybe think real hard about who you are. Like, what makes you, you, and just really focus on that when you come through.
Is there any sort of like mechanism or anything around this field?
Not on the outside. On the inside, MSG, because you've dropped down in, and you can see like there's a tunnel that goes off in one direction, but you can see there's a variety of these sort of like, think of them like pneumatic tube openings on the sides of the walls. Various lights periodically flicker on what looks like some kind of console. On the outside, Ensen, all you see is on the left-hand side, the way you're facing, when you're looking down, the key canister has been inserted into the side. And it is still like kind of halfway pushed down.
So the key canister's on the outside of this field?
Yep.
And it hasn't been pushed in all the way?
It hasn't been pushed in, no.
Okay. I'm going to push it in all the way then.
You try, but it doesn't seem to to want to go any further. It seems to be locked in very, very tight place right now. You also would notice, by the way, that the glowing liquid that you could see on the side of it, the sloshing liquid that you saw, has been depleted.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh, so it's not like all the way in, but it feels like that's as far as it goes. Like it's meant to go.
Yeah, you get the sense that this is
distance.
how. Yeah, this is
Oh, okay.
it's in the way it's
Okay.
supposed to go. Yeah.
Okay. And then MSG doesn't see a way to shut it off from inside, it looks like.
I mean, there's the figure, a ghostly sort of thing with the blibbity sort of language, and it's waving me down a hallway, and I can go down that way. I haven't done any good here, and what's the worst that could happen? I could maybe find a way to shut it down. Not that I
I'll give
really
you a
know-
few minutes to do that, and then I'll try and walk through if I don't see you.
I feel like there's strength in numbers, though. I mean, if he's going to go after some sort of unknown figure, we should probably be there with him.
Does it
It
feel
doesn't matter.
threatening?
I don't think so, unless he's tricky.
Hmm.
But you know, if you can't trust a ghostly figure that appears after you felt your soul ripped away from you, who can you trust?
Yes, that's true.
So Lamb's going to look at Ensign and Khalil and just say, I think we should all be over there.
And do what?
We did what we could here. We've at
To
least
the
made
pile
sure
of
if we
corpses.
come back out, we're not coming into a pool of mercury.
Well, I'm sure my mind is just as strong as my body, and I'm going to walk through the gate.
Ensign, go ahead and roll an aura test.
All right.
I'm going to wait 2 minutes until I roll mine because I want the heroic.
Such a cheater. You're such a cheater. Oh my god. Okay. Ensign, you say, my mind's as strong as my body. You step through, and like your whole body isn't even fully through before like a sort of violet tinged ethereal version of Ensign rips free. And then you hear suddenly, MSG does, you hear the sounds of like a vacuum kicking on. You're, and his soul just gets sucked into one of those canisters on the side, one of those receptacles on the side, and disappears. The lights begin to flicker, and then the figure pops up and says, "Whoa!" and then flickers out.
Gesundheit.
And then Ensign's very large and muscular body flops onto the ground, completely inert.
Well, at least I saw it goes into the containers over there, and then there's some lights flickering. I think I'll just go down the hallway. And, but no offense, I'm sure you're a very well-grounded individual, but I don't know how to fix that.
Lamb will look at Ensign because he didn't really want to go through anyway and say, so that's what happens if we don't do well when we go through.
Fortunately, I'm an incredibly self-centered individual. I just barely held on.
Well, I'll put you on a timer. If we don't hear from you, I guess Ensign and I will come in after.
Well, I'll try very hard not to make it worse.
You,
Okay.
you know,
Maybe I can
be-
fly my kite through and see what happens.
Oh, yes.
It's an intelligent
Kite.
being.
So it probably has a soul then. So yeah,
Yeah.
go right ahead.
So what do you want?
An aura test. So just roll a d20.
Okay.
I
There
hope the
goes
kite
your
makes
kite.
it.
I
God, I hope it's a natural 20. It just goes in just fine. Looks down at Ensign.
we got
Limbo.
another D6 and a half, right? So
Yeah, you get a heroic right now.
I'm
We're
gonna
gonna get out of here in
do
a
it so
sec.
I can get a check the better of the two rolls.
Are you wanting to use that on your
Okay.
critter? Or...
I do want to use it for my critter. So
Okay.
12 is the best on it.
The chitin his kite flies in, and sucked right out of it and vacuumed into the side of the wall as it flops to the ground. You hear the sounds of like kind of machinery gearing up, and suddenly the guy flickers into existence one more, and then flickers back away.
Zoom tight.
So is my kite dead?
No, not dead, just soulless currently.
Lamb will try to throw Phil through.
Wow.
Lamb will have a conversation with Phil and make sure Phil.
No, I can't do this. If my kite friend has lost its soul, I'm gonna go and retrieve it.
All right, go
Are
ahead,
you going?
Khalil.
I'm
Roll
gonna
it.
dive in. What
Go
little
ahead.
soul he has left?
Oh,
Next
hell.
time we'll start up a
Just
new
a,
game.
yeah, straight D20, right?
It's aura, so if you have any bonus to your aura, you can have.
I don't.
Yeah.
15.
That is exactly enough. You step through, and just like MSG, you can see a version of yourself just be, but you just gotta focus on who you are. Gotta help
No,
out.
Jeff,
Kite.
it's just because there's just so little of it.
There's just not that much. It's really small, and they're like, throw it back. And
so try to math out which is the better thing for Lamb, to roll at advantage or roll a d20 and have a d6 to add.
advantage is like a +4, isn't it? Isn't it like advantage averages out? I think over the course
Well,
of
it
time to like a +4.
yeah. It depends on what number you're aiming for, though. On whether or not it's supposed to.
Yeah, it scales
We're
to some
aiming
degree,
for
but
a
like
15.
yeah.
Trying to figure out the best way to use my.
Well, it's the end of the night, so pick something. So I could give a cliffhanger and then weaken it,
All right.
and then Chuck can go get some
I'm gonna
rest.
I
Go
feel
with
like I feel like adding a d6 would be more beneficial.
That's what I thought. All right, so let's see if this works out. Hey, I don't even have to use it.
Lamb, you also get through without any issue. I'll tell you what, though, because we had a roll separately for Kite and roll for Phil. I think it's only fair.
Yeah.
Phil,
I
Phil,
will use my d6 for Phil.
okay, you need a 4 or higher. 50-50. Okay.
5.
Phil. Okay, so 3 of you have made it in without having your souls sucked. 3 of you have not.
I picture Ensen like still in a pose, smiling like giddy, even though he's unconscious.
So as you're standing there, you guys feel like the earth kind of start to rumble again. And then you look over to your right where all these souls have been getting kind of sucked off into. And you see the wall suddenly start to move. And that's when you realize it was never a wall to begin with. And it was just this sort of large contraption that's now moving and slowly slinking away, which looks like this fairly large roly-poly of sorts. As it starts to move away, you realize like there's a lot more space to the ceiling than you thought prior, and it was just because it was so close to you. It was just sort of breaking, kind of making it look as though you were enclosed, and it's just slowly slinking and slinking and slinking away. And as it gets about 20, 30, 40 feet away, down what looks like this massive tunnel, right? That is much bigger than you thought at first, MSG. But now that this thing is moved and it's this mobile, you see that kind of sticking out of it at these various portions, this large roly-poly type creature, you can see these large canisters of these violet colored flickering lights here and there. Almost like these huge Duracell batteries, like these transparent Duracell batteries. And you see almost like, like acne here and there all over its back and its side. These canisters are sticking into it. Some of them are completely empty, but you notice now that on the back, there are 3 that aren't, and that they are fully, actually, no, wait, 1, 2, 3. There are 4 that aren't, counting the kite. There are 4 that aren't, and that are just flickering with some sort of violet colored energy, MSG. And we'll end there, and we'll pick up next week as they try to recover the souls from the ass of a giant roly-poly.
Rescue mission.
Sounds delightful.
Does anybody have good
bodies.
aura? Like, is that anybody's thing?
No.
No.
No, 0.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Well, you have this guy that you can talk to. I don't know.
Ed,
Yeah.
know if
Where's
I
our
can do
universal
this language.
translator when we need it?
The guy who
Right.
came with us.
Goodness.
Trying to see if any.
gracious.
Yeah, you guys wouldn't have these languages.
Oh man.
It's okay. There's some cool shit in here too. Actually, there's some cool loots. All right. So we got to do XP. Actually, we forgot to do XP for combat.
You know what I
If I were-
forgot? Sorry.
What's that?
I have to roll everything at disadvantage.
Oh yeah. Go ahead and roll again.
So technically, if you look at my rolls, my roll for myself would have been a fail because I would have rolled a 19 and an 11.
All
So I
right.
would have
Roll,
had to
roll
use
another
the-
d20 then for Phil.
Yeah. 17.
Phil's okay at least, but you
And I'm
fall
okay.
down.
Well, I'm okay
Oh,
because I used my D6.
Oh,
on mine
okay. So
instead
you're
of
both
Phil's.
again. Yeah, that's fine. Still works out.
Just wanted to play honest.
Okay, kill shots. I think Ensen had one. I'm gonna give Teapot one for basically tackling the one into it.
I
And then
tripped one into it.
and then we'll say Khalil can get a bonus for this, and then MSG for some shots. So the 4 of you take a bonus d6. Everybody else, let's see. One second. Okay, so that was a pretty brutal conflict, actually. So we'll say everybody gets 3d6, but the names I just gave, you guys get 4d6 instead. I'm sorry.
That's
Everyone gets 4d6. You guys get 5d6 instead. Times 10. So
190.
MSG, Teapot, Khalil, and Ensign take 5d6 times 10. The rest of you
That's
take
just
4d6.
enough to level me.
Beautiful.
That's so awful.
Chuck, that's a good roll, man. That's a pretty good
Yeah.
roll.
For me, that's not terrible.
Joe got
190.
200. Jeremy got 2,300. And I got 120.
I mean, Chuck only had 4d6 and he still got 190. It's pretty good.
I
a good rolls.
ended up.
I got
Did you really Dad got less than Chuck with one more dice.
There's an extra d6.
Was that
This
230?
is the way.
It's 230. It's times 10.
Or,
It's times 10.
okay.
I'm gonna take
Okay.
all that and just shove it into my battle ass.
There you go.
Nice. Whatever that means.
So, which we'll
And then you
assume
go
is
to the battle ass and
still up
experience
there, right? We'll
Yeah.
say it's, probably with the rest of the caravan. All right,
Yeah.
let's
He's on
let's
guard
do
duty.
let's do some closing plugs to get this and then we'll get out of here. Bert, what are you doing this week?
Oh, that's a really good question, depending on how the electricity holds up. But supposedly a first edition Dungeons and Dragons game tomorrow night, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Friday, BX Dungeons and Dragons. And Sunday, probably Gamma World 2nd Edition.
Very cool. And Chuck, Defenders, what are they up to?
I have no idea. Who are these defenders you speak?
What?
No,
What?
I'm sick as shit, so I really have no idea. If
Yeah.
I'm feeling up to it, we might do some Pathfinder on Wednesday. Might do some Watercolors and Warriors on Thursday. Might do some Shadowrun on Friday.
I'll
Who the
have
fuck
a
knows?
playtest prepped
Okay.
for this
So
Friday. If you're not
something's
going up
happening on Friday.
Okay. What'd you say about Pathfinder on Wednesday? Or is it we're just touch and go for now? Play it by
Touch and
ear?
go
or-
for now. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll keep everyone noted. But for right now, I
Right
have
on.
no idea.
Cool. Let's see. Jeremy, what else are you playing in this week?
Oh man, on Thursday we're gonna punch Nazis, and it's gonna be great.
Okay. Bunch of nuns. Yeah, it's good. Octung Cthulhu over on Garbline Games. Jeremy and I are playing. Our friend Matt's running us through it. Jeremy's playing Christopher Walken, so you can. So if Claymore and if Claymore and Martial Law from our
Had a
Alien
love
game
baby.
had a love baby, that's the character that Jeremy's playing. It's so good. And I'm playing I'm playing the worst character ever. Just gets everyone in trouble. So
Or best.
yes, I'm a person who really should have picked Romanian as one of his languages, but did
This
not.
is the name of the module.
I didn't know the name of the module. I asked Matt. Matt didn't say anything. Matt's like, you should get Russian. Son of a bitch. He did it on purpose. Let's see. As for Wilson and I here, Friday, I think we're back to Delta Green. We had to postpone last week because they had a sick player, but I think we're going to be back to our schedule. So Friday, Delta Green Impossible Landscapes Part 4, One Ring on Saturday, and then new game next Monday as we're taking a break from Alien, and we're gonna give some Deadlands a go. So the Alien crew's coming back from Deadlands. So we're gonna shoot stuff with old Western guns and things. Actually, I'm gonna make you guys do a bunch of chores because the beginning of the campaign that we're doing is literally just
Gotta
you
shovel
guys
those
just do
stables.
Yeah. Gotta like round up some cattle and stuff. Anyway. But that is it. Thank you for those of you who hung out. Thank you for those of you who are watching this later on VOD on YouTube. Definitely appreciate it. Watch everyone's stuff this week. Cross your fingers for Bert's power and Chuck's health. And and we'll see you next time. So I'm gonna throw it on the end screen. We'll probably raid somebody. So hang on, and we'll find someone else to watch. So good night, everybody.